I've ruined every relationship my serial cheating sister has ever had, and now no one in our small town likes her, including her family, and I couldn't be happier. So, I, 20F, have a sister. I'm going to call her Kelly because why not? She's 22. Ever since she started dating, she's also cheated, over and over again, a never-ending cycle. Her first relationship, she was 15, I was 13, she introduced me to Brad, sweetheart, great dude. 2 days later, she's hanging out with her study partner in her room an awful lot. I wasn't stupid, I figured out what she was doing. Heck, she told her friends, she bragged to them on our living room couch. As soon as she did that, I decided she wasn't a good person, she disgusted me. So the next time her and her study partner were in her room, I took a picture through the keyhole in her door. They were just kissing, gross, but nothing bad. I waited and the next day stole her phone and got Brad's number. I texted him who I was and why I was messaging him. He didn't believe she was cheating. I sent him the picture and asked him not to tell her how he found out. He agreed. They broke up obviously. She was heartbroken, and accused her friends of telling him. She never suspected me, why would she? I was the sister who clung to her, copied everything she wore, watched, I admired her, and I kept up the act. I didn't want her knowing I knew or what I had done. I hoped she had learned her lesson, but she didn't. The next real boyfriend was when she was 17 and I was 15. I had been watching her like a hawk, waiting for the next boyfriend. No one would date her for a while after Brad. She was a cheater after all. Her study partner didn't even want to date her. Anyways, in comes Steven, Hess trusting, maybe a bit dim, believes everyone's good kind of thing. She convinced him that Brad and her had only ever kissed no more. I didn't believe that, but whatever. This innocent church boy truly believed she was a changed girl. After barely 2 years, okay sure. A month in and I had no dirt. I'm starting to think she's changed. Bam, she's bragging to her friends about cheating on Steven. I stay hidden. I need the details. I wish I had recorded the confession, but I didn't. What I did hear was her planning to meet side piece at the park the next afternoon. We were both old enough to leave the house whenever we wanted, we just had to tell our mother we were leaving. The next day she said she was going to the mall. I said I was hanging out with friends. I waited till she was a few minutes ahead of me and then went to the park. I got pictures of the cuddling under a tree and kissing, rinse and repeat. Steven swore to secrecy, did show her the pictures, but this time there was no evidence who took them. She'd have caught me with the first ones, but anyone could have caught them so blatantly in the park. Relationship number 3 and enters bad boy. I hated him. He was rude, gross, and disrespectful. This one was more questionable for me. He was clearly a rebound. But I thought he might be the type to hurt her if something like cheating happened, so I had to get her to break it off, or him choose to leave her without it being her fault, even though she was horrid. I planned and plotted, waiting for evidence they weren't right, and could you believe it, they were cheating on each other. With the same guy. I kinda thought calling them out may just make them a throuple. I was wrong. He hated the idea of someone knowing he was gay, so when he found out she knew he was bi, he ditched so fast. 3 down. My sister still has no idea who's doing it, but she's suspicious, I know, because she was ranting to me, about me, and didn't know. Then she told me her plan. She would tell each friend something different, and see which story the next boyfriend got. I helped her come up with the fake names and looks and locations. It was kind of fun actually. So boyfriend number 4 was actually just a guy friend of hers in on the plot. He wanted Kelly so bad he'd do anything for her attention. She told friend A she was cheating on 4 with a blonde dude and meeting him at the ice cream shop tomorrow. Friend B got brown hair and beach, friend C had red hair and house, and friend D got bald and Starbucks. Kelly wanted me to scope out the ice cream shop. Kelly was at home, and 4 went to Starbucks. No one was at the beach. But Kelly figured if none of us saw any friend near any building, then friend B was the culprit. We did just that. It was kind of funny getting her constant texts asking if anyone saw anyone yet. She was panicking because B and her had been friends since diapers and she didn't want it to be B. In the end, no friends showed up, and she sent B a rant about being a bad friend and telling her exes about her cheating. B denied it heavily, but the friendship was in pieces. A took B's side saying Kelly was crazy to think it was them, and C took Kelly's side saying it was suspicious that A, C, D didn't show up to the spots, and that logic pointed at B. D thought they were all insane and actually accused me, pointing out that if I was the cattle no friend I'd have shown up anywheres, and that since no one was at the beach they couldn't know. Kelly was offended, and said I'd never do that to her. I loved her far too much to hurt her. We were sisters after all. In the end, D went with A and B because Kelly in her mind was delusional. C stayed with Kelly. 4 and Kelly did not become an actual couple. Kelly, thinking the rat was gone, started dating Luca. Poor sweet Luca, yours was the most tragic, for she cheated on him with his twin brother. This was when she was 20, I was 18, maybe too old for this but not done yet. I wouldn't let het waste a guy's life. It took me longer to catch on to this one. Twin boys, never questioned pictures on Snap, never questioned the guy's looks. How could I? They were twins. Until Luca shaved his head for a friend with cancer, but twin did not. I got a video of them in his car kissing, sent it to Luca and wiped my hands clean. He showed her the video and she flipped out. She hadn't told anyone about the cheating this time, not me, not C, not 4. And since they were twins, she thought no one would notice. Finally, she dates 4, has the only guy left in our small town dumb enough to. She, of course, does the usual cheats on 4. Here's my problem, I wasn't certain he'd break up with her over cheating, or he'd believe it at all. So I waited, gathered evidence, and in a twist-turn of events I got a picture of C and 4 cheating. They cheated on her, I sent him the pictures of Kelly cheating, and sent Kelly the pictures of her cheating. It exploded. She had no friends, not one, she chased them away, and everyone in our tiny town knew she was a cheater. Now, you may be wondering, why tell this story now, and why destroy my sister in such a way? I hate her, I've hated her since I was a kid. See, we are only half-sisters. We have the same dad, different moms. Our dad cheated on her mom with my mom. My mom, who I loved, was disabled, and my father had a better lawyer. When I was 5 he stole me from her, legally I suppose, but my mom was given visitation, nothing more. I got to see her, 1 a week for an hour, as she was not deemed safe to have a child. When I got older I would sneak to her house after school to be with her more. My darling older sister caught me, and told our father. We went back to court, and as a dumb 8-year-old I blurted out that I hated my father, that he was a cheater and scum, and I wished he never knew me. It was decided my mother was alienating me from my father. And visitation was cut. I was thrown in therapy to fix my feelings about my father. Now yes, I know she was only 10, but she never apologized. Even when I brought it up she saw no wrong. My mother passed a year later, and I was forbidden to attend her funeral by my father. My maternal grandparents tried to force his hand, went to court, but were shot down, told only my mother could have fought my father, and unless they had proof he was a bad parent they shouldn't waste their time. My father's wife had forgiven him, not very smart in my opinion, and raised me with him, and I had my sister who I hated. I pretended not to. The best revenge is a dish best served cold. Now, why tell this story now? Because my darling half-sister uses this subreddit. I don't think she's posted, but she has lurked, and in moving out into my maternal grandparents' home. Why now at 20 and not 18? Because today the final nail of my revenge went into the coffin. I left pictures all over the house of my father cheating on my stepmother with various women. I'll have the dates marked on them, from the time they took me into about a week ago. And so, all I wish for is to destroy my father and my sister, as my stepmother, who I feel bad for, has a prenup. If he cheats on her, he gets nothing. She owns the house, the cars, the summer house. They have a joint bank account that he might drain, but to my knowledge the vast amount of her money is in her separate account. She's rich, to the point she paid for everything I needed as a kid and smiled doing it. I don't know if she ever resented me, but she never showed it. She treated me exactly like my sister. But as well as that, I've also left proof my sister knew our father was cheating on her, proof that my darling sister knew her mother was being cheated on and said nothing. From chat logs, to voice records, to even literal receipts of gifts he bought her to shut her up, it's all there, waiting in the house. And today, both my sister and father are gone for the weekend. My stepmother will be home in a few hours, and I will be gone. Even if Kelly sees this within 10 seconds of it going live, she will never get home in time to clean up the mess.